because it creates an element of surprise. And it works with humor. So with twist, you have to remember the rule of 3. Bring the audience towards one direction, and again towards the same direction, and then suddenly take a turn. And that will guarantee to work. Remember, I'll give you examples of this later on, right? The third spice, pause, or what we call power pause. Pause is very important and very powerful because it brings the element of suspense into your speech. Just before you drop that very important word, just before you drop that very important line, and you pause, you have the entire audience in suspense mode. And then you get everyone's attention. They will be eagerly listening to what you're going to say next. And when you pause, you also give time for the audience to listen to you, to absorb what you're saying. So pause abundantly within your speech. What's next? Stories. Stories relate to the audience. All of us love to hear stories, right? Especially other people's stories. And that's why gossip magazines sells like hot cake. In Toastmasters, we have this saying, make a point, tell a story. When you try to make a point, use a personal story to support, to illustrate your point. And that will help the audience to better understand you. Because the audience might actually experience the same situation before. So they will better relate to what you're saying if you use a story. Okay? Next, emotions. Emotions. Emotions touches the heart of the audience. When we make speeches before, a lot of times we target on the intellectual side of the audience. We talk about logic, right? But I've learned that when you talk more on the emotion side, especially when you're talking about inspirational speeches, when you're trying to motivate, touching the heart of the audience is very important. So in your speech, try to work on the logic as well as the emotion side. Okay? Next, questions. Questions engages the audience. When you ask questions, you're like talking to the audience. You are having communication. You're doing conversation. Now, how do you ask questions in your speech? Do you direct the question to the entire audience? You see, as Asians, a lot of times we don't respond to the questions that were thrown to us, right? Right? So how do you ask your question? Direct it to someone in the audience, specifically you. And because it's directed to someone, they are more inclined to answer your question. So you don't have, you avoid the situation, the awkward situation where you ask a question and nobody responded. Right? So direct your question specifically to someone in the audience. Those are 6 spices that I've shared, right? Before I move to the 7th spice, let me give you a couple of examples, right? I would like to share with you 2 excerpts from 2 of my favorite speeches in the past. And after this demonstration, I would like you to tell me, what are some of the spices that I've added in the speech? Okay? The first one is a speech about my first experience in public speaking. It goes like this. My first experience in public speaking started when I was 12. And that was a long time ago. Yes. I was appointed by my teacher to deliver a graduation speech at my primary school graduation ceremony. That was an honor to me, right? And so I rehearsed my speech relentlessly. When the time came, I took a deep breath, walked up the stage, and delivered my 5-minute speech without any notes, without any mistakes, without any eye contact with the audience. So, tell me, what spices did I put into that speech? Anyone? The one with eyeglass? With a scarf? Yes, you? Yes? Claire, okay.
Twist.
Twist, yes. You bring the audience towards one direction, no notes, the same direction, no mistakes, and then suddenly, no eye contact with the audience. You got it? Any other ingredients? Any other spices? There must be some more. That's a story, isn't it? It's a story. And did I use pause? Yes, I did, right? Next, the second example. This one is from a speech on greed. And this one is more serious. When the Asian financial crisis hit, I lost everything. And in order to pay back my debt, I have to sell everything valuable. My car, my daughter Rachel's piano, and even our jewelry, including our wedding rings. My wife, she made me remove her ring from her finger so that I can remember this mess. As I take away her ring from her finger, I was also taking away my promises to her. So, what spice did I add into that speech? Yes, emotions. See, there were a lot of ladies in the audience at that time. So, I planted that one, ring, and it certainly would touch their heart, right? Next, I would like to move on to the seventh and the last spice that I would like to share with you this morning. When we deliver speeches, it's meant for the ears, right? It's different from an essay, because an essay is meant for the eyes. If you try to get a piece of essay and recite it as if it is a speech, it won't be effective because of the way it's written. The way it's written is for the eyes. So, when we deliver a speech, we must try to help the audience visualize what we're saying. We must try to make it easy for the audience to follow us. How do we do that? By choosing the right words and using the right sentence structure. We try to paint vivid pictures and we try to add music into our speech. We can do that by using analogy or metaphor. We can do that by using rhyme or alliteration. We can use contrasting words, and we could use parallel sentence structure. Metaphor. Try to pick something that everyone is aware of, or that something that we can create a vivid picture with. And then try to relate it to something that not all of us is aware of, or that we could not have a vivid picture with. Okay? Did you get that? Well, let me give you an example. It's from a speech about children in Hong Kong. Okay?